Good evening, everybody. Today we're going to discuss biomagnification. It makes sense to talk about this right now because in class we just finished speaking about food chains and food webs. So before I start talking about the definition of biomagnification and what it means, let's recap what we learned in class. So if we look at a food web is showing the organisms of a particular ecosystem or a particular habitat and shows how energy is transferred from one organism to the other. And if you look at this food web, at first glance it looks pretty complicated. It's showing arrows going in many directions, but if you follow the arrows, it's showing the pathway the energy is traveling. So this cricket means that the arrow going from this grass to the cricket is just saying that the energy is flowing from this plant to this organism. The energy from this plant is also going to the deer when it eats it. So it's showing the interactions of many organisms within a habitat. The food chain is looking at one particular avenue within the food web. So if we look at this food chain, we can see that we have two different ones here. One's marine, the one on the right is marine, and the one on the left is terrestrial. And it's just looking at one pathway within the food web. So they show the same thing, but one is more simple than the other. And then we could take this information and look at it even further by looking at a energy pyramid. So here, for right now, we're not going to pay attention to this. We're going to cross this out. Okay, and just fix up here. Okay, so in class, we were talking about this pyramid, and we said that the base of the pyramid is the broadest. And here we have our autotrophs. The reason that they're at the bottom or the base of this pyramid is because they have the most energy. Right? They're getting their energy directly from the sun. So we're going to say that this has 100%. And if you take a look at this, as the grasshoppers eat the grass, we know that there's a 10% transfer of energy. So the grasshoppers are going to get 10% of this 100. So they're going to have 10% stored energy. When the mouse or mole, whatever this animal is, hard to see, when they eat the crickets, they're going to get 10% of their stored energy, which brings us to their gain of 1%. And then the owls eating this organism, and they're going to get 10% of their stored energy, which is equivalent to 0.1%. So what happened to the rest of the energy? Why the other 90%? Well, each organism has to use energy to survive, right? They use it as for their metabolic activities, to pump their hearts, to digest their food, to walk, to run, to fly, to jump, whatever. So they need energy to do that. So this is showing the stored energy that's being can be transferred from one trophic level to the other. So if we take a look at this, at the kilocalories, now we can see that there's also a 10% transfer here. They're showing it just in a different way. So thinking about what I said about the way how energy is transferred from one organism to the other in this energy pyramid, and by looking at the food chain, we can see that energy is transferred from one organism to the other. Now let's take a look at biomagnification. The definition says that it's the process whereby certain substances, such as pesticides, move up the food chain and become more concentrated. Now, it doesn't have to be pesticides. It could be other chemicals as well. So, without going any further into biomagnification, the next few days, going over through the weekend, I want you to take a look at biomagnification further on your own. And I want you to go into the Schoology website. There are 5 groups. Each one of you is assigned to a group. And each group has a particular substance that we're going to look at for biomagnification. Okay? Each group will have its own substance. So individually, right now, I want you to look up your substances and how biomagnification, or how this substance is moving through the food chain by biomagnification. And when you come back to class, when we come back to class on Monday, you're going to go into your groups with your information. You're going to compare your results, and what your group is going to do is going to write a letter to the president or to some government official explaining why your substance is bad for the environment and why it should be banned. Okay? And one other thing I want you to do is to take a look at these two comics. For homework tonight, to show me in class, to show me that you watched this video, I want you to pick one of these cartoons. This one's A, and we'll do this one's B, and explain to me how these cartoons are showing biomagnification. Okay? So remember, there are 5 groups. Each one of you are assigned to a group. You need to go to the Schoology website, find out your group, what you're in, what your topic is, follow the directions within your Schoology link to complete the assignment. And I hope you enjoy it. Talk to you later.